So, as talked before, we here in Hamburg were spontaneously having the great opportunity to get to meet Julien-K. And less talking from me, but more from you. Let's introduce yourselves.
I'm Ryan. I'm the singer, and I play guitar.
Amir. I play guitar and keyboards.
I'm Fu. I play keyboards.
And our drummer Elias is not here.
Invisible.
Yes. He's our secret weapon, so we won't show you him yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you're the first time in Germany as in the formation Julien-K.
Yes.
And you had like a week now in Hamburg.
Mm-hmm.
So how was it so far, like here in the
Rainy.
studio? Rainy.
Fantastic studio.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun here.
Yep.
What did you like most here?
The rain.
I couldn't sleep last night. It was Saturday night. I couldn't sleep. I went out at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the streets are just packed, and nightclubs are full. Crazy people. I love it.
So, but you don't have a lot of time in Munich, have you? I heard you're just like straight on tour then, going
That's
there
when we
playing.
start working.
Yeah. Once the tour starts, we're playing every day, so we have travel to each city, and I guess a few of these cities we haven't been to, but I don't think we'll have time to really do much.
Have you ever been like had the chance to see something of Munich?
Yeah.
Like, and did you like it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
It was sunnier, wasn't it?
It's what?
It was sunnier, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cold, but it was sunnier. Yeah.
Alright.
We tend to like Germany. Out of all the European countries, we like a lot of them. We have fun in all of them. But for some reason, it always seems like we always end up all getting together and having some fun in Germany. I don't know what it is about it, but we have a lot of good luck here.
Is it the German fans? Probably?
German fans are great. German fans are great, absolutely. I mean, Europe for us has been really, really good. And I don't want to just specifically single out Germany because Germany is great, but we all over Europe, it's been really, really good for us. For Dead by Sunrise and Julien-K over the last year, it's been wonderful. So we love being here.
That's nice to hear. So can you tell some difference, like from the German fans to the rest of Europe, or is it just?
There is a little bit of a difference, I think. I think German fans really, really get into the music. They really love the music. I'm not saying other fans don't, but I mean, there's a certain in America. There's certain sections of America where the fans really, really get into the music, and they really show up for the shows, and we call them diehard fans. Usually, in the center of America, on the edges of America, the New York, LA side, they're a little bit, snootier, and I would say they still love music, but they just don't get into it as much because they've seen everything. In Germany, it just seems like they have a love for music, and it really shows and has a really good effect on us.
Let's talk about your video. Like, there's 2 versions on the website, and as in your press release, it says like something. Oh, you were looking for something new, something that sets stuff in motion, and that's why you founded Julien-K. And what's like, because it's the video of the first single, and what did you want to express with that? It's like you're kind of sick of the glam, glittery music world, and you want to start fresh, or?
That video specifically, I think we sort of based off of the lyrics of the song "Kick the Bass," which is sort of about like narcissism and drug use and the whole kind of roller coaster ride that we've all had being in a rock band for, successful rock band for 10 plus years. What the video sort of mimics, it's sort of a fictional version of a lot of parties that we've gone to, where it's just so excessive and it's so crazy and it's so, you walk in the door and you think, how can this be fucking real? This is ridiculous. And there's a part of me lyrically that kind of likes that ridiculousness. There's a part of, I think all of us, we're musicians, we're artists, and I think that we feel really comfortable in a spotlight. Sometimes, there's that narcissistic side. And I think that video, we just sort of took it into another level, and we really wanted to focus on the gluttony and the insanity that has occurred in our lives. And we kind of put it all into one story, tried to make it very stylized and fashion and cool looking. But we really wanted to get past that feeling of this other world that we partake in every now and then.
Yeah, but like the ending of the video is like so.
So
oh my
we
God,
usually don't get eaten alive.
All right.
But it's just some of those nights. I think that we've all kind of thought, "Wow, someone could get killed," because we've partied so hard and we've done so many crazy things. I think we kind of wanted to.
It's kind of a metaphor.
Yeah.
Really, it's not really spoken. You know what I mean? Kind of gives you the idea that if you are doing this a lot, that it will kill you eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And like the end of the video, I had the feeling like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? How do I get out?
Yeah.
It happens to us all the time.
That kind of.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, great. And it's like, I don't know if it's just the press release, like the Giro. I know it's like I'm talking a lot about let's do something revolutionary that's start over, that sets stuff in motion. What exactly do you want to change or set in motion with that new band, Julien-K?
We like to kind of just really mix a lot of elements together to sort of pave our own way, basically. Stylistically and visually and everything. So I think that was a big plan from the beginning, was to sort of take all of our influences and just sort of meld it into something new and not really be like another band, kind of pave our own way, which isn't an easy way to go usually, because it's not commercially maybe acceptable, or something that people hear and go, oh, it sounds just like this other band that I just heard yesterday. We kind of have our own thing, and then that way you sort of find some very hardcore fans. You build a base out of that to build off of.
So you found that what you were looking for with the new band in Julien-K?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a good foundation there for us to now progress to other levels. And I think people will see when they hear the new record, as well, where we're going, kind of. We're already deep into a new record, so yeah.
What's about to tell there? Already some stuff you can tell us about the next one, or you?
It's awesome.
Come to the show. We'll play some
Yeah, we're going to be playing 4 new songs. So.
From the new one?
Uh-huh.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
So come see us.
Here.
And you can come here. Yeah.
I will. Hope you're feeling better then. I really do.
I hope I am too.
So you're gonna take let's call it revolution, your own evolving and revolution even further, the new one?
Uh-huh. Yep. I think that we found from, the touring and doing the first record was definitely more of an experiment, and I think now that the experiment, we have the data back from the experiment, so we can kind of move forward and know where we want to go now, taking all the good and the bad from what we've done so far.
Right.
We're very scientific.
Well, and you're right in Germany now.
Yeah.
And I heard you got new equipment,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Reconfigured basically how we're playing live, with the exception of what our drummer's playing, because he's still using basically the same kit, but he even sort of consolidated how he's doing it. We wanted to be able to travel, to be able to light, basically. And when we were in Dead by Sunrise touring, we really sort of figured out how to really consolidate all of our gear and work with the companies that could help us all around the world. Like Orange Amplifiers and Line 6 have been gracious enough to either give us or loan us gear for this tour, and Akai has loaned us keyboards, and things like that. That way we don't have to fly with all of this gear. We basically just bring our guitars because they're pretty special. So we bring our guitars and pretty much everything else just shows up when we get here. It's pretty much all loan gear, which makes it a lot easier and
It makes it possible.
yeah, I mean, because it gets too complicated. And I honestly prefer what we're using now to what we were using before, even though it created a ton of work for Fu and myself. Fu handling more of the computer stuff and I handling more of the guitar and all the processing and all that stuff. He had a lot more work to deal with. And actually Elias dealing with his drum pads and stuff, but now it's done. So whatever we do now, and it's great because it's the same stuff we use in Dead by Sunrise. So we can fly over here and do Dead by Sunrise, we can fly over here and do Julien-K, and then all the same gear will now work for us, and it's going to be much easier to tour, and it works better actually. Sounds
you
better.
You miss your own stuff?
No.
No?
No.
Well,
Not
it is.
attached to it.
It is our own stuff. It's the sounds and what we're bringing over. We are bringing the data. We're bringing the art, the color, the life, the songs, the sounds are all our own sounds. We bring it over on computer. All we're using is some equipment to get into the computer that is from here. It's the same as if we borrowed a guitar. You know what I mean? Well, really, not exactly the same, but it's sort of like if we came over here to paint and we just borrowed paintbrushes. It's still the same stuff we're using back home. We just have sort of like a duplicate set over here now, and all the data resides on our computers. So once we can access that, we are Julien-K anywhere in the world. And that makes things a lot more economical, makes things less complicated for us, makes us sound better because we can bring everything that we are. Say a band like Orgy would have to bring a load of really big pieces of gear, and we'd have to fly it all over, and it would be very, very expensive. But through technology, and because these guys are smart, we've been able to sort of make it all portable.
So at home, like, we have all the same, we actually have even more, like, orange amps, but they're the same ones. We own, like, a whole backline back home in the U.S., but it would be silly for us to fly that over here. So they have the same amps over here, and we just use them. And the pedals and everything, all the sounds are created back home, and then we carry the stuff over here, program pedals that we'll have here. So it'll be virtually another setup, basically, that we'll have that we can take anywhere in Europe. And all the computer stuff, like what he's talking about, basically comes from our sessions, from our actual album, the sounds. And Fu puts all that together so that way we can play it. And I mean, we play a lot of stuff too.
Well, that's really nice to hear, like, for being fans, because we always like kind of feel left out a bit because big tours in US and lots of stuff, and the bands come to Europe and can't bring all the big crazy stuff, and we're like,
yeah, well,
it's expensive.
See that. Yeah.
We're figuring out ways to make it happen so that first and foremost we can come here, period, and play.
Yeah.
And then from there we'll build everything else.
Yeah, well, can we take a short look, like,
Of course
behind
can.
the scenes, and you show us something
Yeah.
like of your Julien-K creativity process?
Sure.